This woman almost killed this guy just because he looks like a dirty beggar, but she has no idea of his real identity. Why Yonho, the radiant martial sovereign, a legendary figure who ended the era of chaos, a true gentleman, a great man, and a renowned chivalrous warrior often spoken of across the world. Some call him the greatest of all time, others the greatest chivalrous warrior. But why does everyone avoid talking about him? As a historian, I have a duty to document even the hidden sides of history, and today, I may finally learn the reason why. You said you want to know about Wai Yonho? Living Buddha Master Mu-san. Yes, that's right. I'm compiling materials to document his history. Ho-ho. Wai Yonho, the radiant martial sovereign, Wai Yonho. He was a very benevolent and upright man. The Buddha must have sent him down to us. Oh, it's just as I thought. Then what was he like in his everyday life? The monk's eyes narrowed, his face contorting in anger. Fuck it, I can't do this. The historian blinked, clearly taken aback by the sudden outburst. Excuse me? Fuck it? Suddenly, the scene shifts to the Hubei Peng clan. The supreme elder of the Hubei's Peng clan, Peng Dojuk, roared, "Why Yonho this? Why Yonho that? Why the hell did a wretched, trashy human?" He slammed his fist on the table, sending the historian sprawling. "Like you come here?" he screamed, spraying spittle everywhere. "Bring a whole bag of salt and scatter it around here. Ho ho, so you were chased away from Shaolin and Hubei's Peng clan? Haha, beggar sect divine mad dog." Yes, and their responses were pretty much the same wherever I went. Haha. The moment I brought up Wai Yonho's name, of course they'd react like that. The historian looked surprised. "Pardon?" Divine mad dog began to explain. "That man 100 years ago was the absolute worst kind of person." Wai Yonho continued to sleep soundly. "I want to become the strongest." Wai Yonho, age 12, he declared. "There was once a boy who dreamed of becoming the greatest under the heavens. Born into a martial clan, he was raised learning the chivalry of warriors. Because of that, he already knew the quickest path to the top. The greatest under the heavens, and that path was relentless effort. Yeah, no matter how gifted you are, nothing comes without effort. For a boy with such a will, effort is the only true way forward. There was one small issue. It's that it was too late to begin today. The sun had already set." He sat up, watching the last rays fade from the sky. Wai Yonho's expression hardened. He leapt to his feet. "What a shame. Today was supposed to be the day I laid the foundations to become the best. Well, I'll sleep soundly tonight and train tomorrow." Suddenly, a thunderous stomping echoed through the room. Wai Yonho was still flat on the ground when the door slid open. "Get up." I said, "Get up." Wai Yonho groggily sat up. "Oh, you're here? Do you know what time it is?" "Patriarch of Guangdong's Wai clan, righteous chivalrous swordsman Wai Zhonghan. I saw the sun." "Yet you're still lying on your bed?" "Because the sun is still going down." "Do you know how long you've been holed up in this room? Was it 2 days? Maybe 3? "No, I think it's 2. Wai Zhonghan's face turned red as he shouted, "It's been 4 days, you useless brat. You've been rolling around, wrapped in a blanket, for 4 damn days." He continued his tirade. "Doesn't your back hurt from lying around for that long? Even a bear would flip over from sweat after 3 days. Wai Yonho chuckled sheepishly. Hee, that's why I get up every now and again. You don't have to worry about me. I actually tried to train, and every time I opened my eyes, the sun was already setting. So, when the sun sets, you have to that way. You can get up early the next day to train." Wai Zhonghan finally snapped. "You freaking brat." Yonho was sent flying. I'm finally going to fix that rotten attitude of yours today." The shout echoed across the Guangdong Wai household. "Today, in the great Guangdong's Wai household, I'll straighten you out for good." The sun was already going down. Meanwhile, at the Guangdong's Wai clan office, the administrator of Guangdong's Wai clan, Zhou Bang, sighed. "Is this about the second young master again? Who else would I be worried about?" "Don't worry, sir. He'll mature soon enough." Zhou Bang sighed. "Ha. It's all my fault." Wai Zhonghan left on a martial dual pilgrimage the year Wai Yonho turned 2. The family consisted of the matriarch of Guangdong's Wai clan, Han Sang-ah, the unborn child Wai Suryan, Wai Yonho, and Wai Sanho. At that time, he thought the journey would only last 2 years at most. However, he got caught up in various incidents, and it wasn't until 8 years later that he was able to return. Though he earned the honorary title of righteous chivalrous swordsman during that time, what he lost was far too great. When he returned home, his once gentle wife had become fiercer than a tiger. Honey, 8 years? Really? And his beloved son, whom he thought wouldn't be a problem at all, had grown into a lazy sloth. Ah ha ha ha. Phew, don't worry. There must still be a way. What way? Have you forgotten? He'll be returning soon. He? Oh, right. Yes. After 3 years. He'll finally be back from the academy. Yes, Wai Yonho, that little brat. There is one person Wai Yonho is actually scared of. Why am I suddenly getting chills? Oh, and that is Sanho, eldest son of Guangdong's Wai clan, Why Sanho? Brother, how long have you been asleep? When did you get here? I asked you first? Sanho's face darkens. Why Yonho panics. No, it's not what you think. I trained early this morning. I trained really hard. I just took a nap because I got tired. It's true. Damn it. When did he get back? Sanho stands tall, his expression unreadable. You trained? Yeah. Sanho points to a nearby candle. Then use a technique to split that candle into two. Huh. Sanho's eyes glint with challenge. Let's see how much you've improved over these 3 years. Why Yonho gulps nervously, knowing he's about to be put to the test. Sanho crosses his arms, unimpressed. What are you doing? Go ahead. Why Yonho hesitates, glancing around the room. I mean, we're indoors, and it could be dangerous. Sanho bellows. I'll take care of that. Just show me what you've got. Why Yonho, looking incredibly reluctant, mutters, fine. Ugh, here goes nothing. He takes a step forward, drawing his sword. The blade catches the light as he prepares to unleash his technique. Why Yonho takes a deep breath and unleashes his sword technique. Why Yonho's foot slams down, bracing for the impact of his technique. The blade flashes, a whirlwind of blue energy surrounding him. His face is a mask of concentration as he pours everything into the strike. Why Yonho shouts the name of his technique, Soaring Dragon. Sweat beads on his brow, a testament to the effort he's putting in. Why Yonho's disastrous attempt to split the candle leaves him in stunned silence. He recoils, realizing, I screwed up. Sanho's expression hardens. He points out 3 years have passed. 3 years is enough to master a sword technique, to move on to the next level. But you, Sanho finishes his thought with a cutting remark. You've gotten worse than you were 3 years ago. The scene shifts to the exterior of the Guangdong Y clan estate at night. Back inside, the family sits around the table, the atmosphere thick with unspoken tension. Why Yonho's stomach churned with dread. I'm going to get indigestion. I'm sure of it. His father asks, how's the martial academy life? It's fine. Have you encountered any difficulties? Why Yonho replies, if there were no hardships, it wouldn't be training. I believe they are essential in order to overcome myself. His father observes, you've suffered a lot in my absence. Why Yonho countered, you're the one who had it harder, father, being away for so long. Then are there any other issues? The sound of chopsticks clicking against the chopstick rest filled the air. Why Yonho's father looked at him intently. There is one. The father's announcement hung in the air. What is it? His wife responds, it's about Yonho. Why Yonho, ever alert to potential threats to his laziness, immediately perks up. Yonho? What about me? His father begins, I think. He declares, we need to bring Yonho to my martial academy. Why Yonho's face is a silent scream of protest. That's, even Master Mu-san and Peng Dojak grind their teeth at the mere mention of Why Yonho's name. The scene shifts to an abstract image of swirling blue energy. The energy coalesces around the hilt of a sword. That was when the great history began. The camera focuses on Why Yonho's face, his expression unreadable as he grasps the sword's hilt. He looks up at the sky. Back then, no one could have imagined that this lazy boy would one day shake the entire world. Hey, Sanho, let's rest for a bit before we go. Just like that, Why Yonho was half forced to go to the martial academy. His family was a bit upset. Wah, don't go. Why Yonho's younger sister, Why Suryan. Come back, a man. Take care of yourself. But they didn't try to stop him. Don't cry. I'll be back. Haha. Stop laughing. And so, the brothers began their journey. The journey was smooth. Well, for Why Sanho, that is. Are we almost there? Sanho replies, there's 10 more days left. 10? Sanho retorts, we would have gotten there in 5 if you knew how to ride a horse. Why Yonho whines. I told you I've never ridden one before. I wasn't blaming you. You are. I was just answering your question. Why Yonho complains. Let's rest. Do you know how steep this hill is? I'm so tired. I feel like my back and butt are gonna burst. Why Sanho points ahead. Look over there. Those people are resting too. Why Sanho strides toward the resting figures. Why Yonho asks, what? Where are you going? Why Sanho strides confidently, his destination clear. He stops abruptly. What are you doing? We're too late. The scene is grim. Bodies litter the ground. They're all dead. Why Yonho is shocked by the carnage. What? Sanho examines one of the bodies closely. Look at this. He points to a distinct mark on the victim's chest. This is a technique called the flower indulging palm. Why Yonho is aghast. Flower indulging palm. Indulging in flowers? It used to be called crimson flower palm, but because of a rapist named Seo Jueke who went around committing evil acts using this technique, it came to be called the flower indulging palm. Wait, a rapist? Are you saying that he's around here? Sanho's expression darkened. He goes for women who are climbing the mountain. These bodies mean that Seo Jueke ambushed them while trying to get a woman. In other words, there is a woman in danger somewhere around here. Without hesitation, Sanho declared, I'll be back. Stay here. And with a burst of speed, he was gone. Why Yonho stared at the bodies, his face contorting in disbelief. Are you telling me to stay here with these corpses? He shouts after Sanho. Hey! Why Yonho stood frozen, sweat beading on his forehead. His face tightened with a grimace. He stared at the bodies, the horses sniffing at the fallen men. I'm screwed. The sky darkened. a storm brewing overhead. Wai Yonho threw his arms out in exasperation. Liar! What's taking him so long? He should have just brought me along. He crossed his arms, a worried expression on his face. Did something happen? There's no way he'd be this late otherwise. The roar of a tiger echoed through the forest. Wai Yonho knew he had to act fast. I need to do something. I might become a tiger's dinner if I just loiter around here. Lightning flashed across the sky as he shouted, "Wag!" The rain began to fall. The rain intensified, obscuring the bodies of the fallen bandits. Wai Yonho looked around at the grim scene, realizing, I'm really screwed. A primal scream pierced the night. Wai Yonho found himself in a desperate situation. How did I end up like this? Hiya, he groaned, trying to lift the bodies onto the horses. He thought to himself, damn it, I can't just leave them behind since they might become tiger food, and I can't bury them either because it's raining. Struggling under the weight and the downpour, he knew he needed to find a solution fast. I need to find shelter. Suddenly, the horse whinnied in protest. Wai Yonho, frustrated and exhausted, yelled at the animal. Why? Aren't you listening to me? Just then, a blinding flash of lightning illuminated the scene, momentarily revealing the treacherous path ahead. Quaff! Way-ack! The world spun as Wai Yonho was thrown from the horse, the bodies of the bandits flying in different directions. He crashed through the foliage. My back. That damned horse. Wai Yonho groggily looked around. What? His eyes widened as he registered his surroundings. A cave? A wide grin spread across his face. Nice. I found shelter from the rain. Suddenly, the horses appeared, dragging the makeshift weight behind them. You guys. He strained against the rope, trying to stop them. I can't even hit them, he grumbled, struggling to control the horses. He sighed, looking at the mess he was in. What a mess. This is why I prefer to stay home. He left a mark outside the cave, so hopefully my brother will find me. Meanwhile, I don't know. I'm just gonna sleep. I hope nothing happened to my brother. No, he's strong. I'm sure he'll be. Wai Yonho, ever the picture of diligence, was already fast asleep by the side of the road. His snores echoed through the quiet night. He was out like a light. Suddenly, a strange energy began to emanate from him as he slept, his face glowing with an ethereal light. The energy intensified, enveloping him in a swirling aura. His body levitated, suspended in the air by the mysterious force. The energy pulsed around him, a cocoon of power surrounding the sleeping Wai Yonho. Wai Yonho was still fast asleep, snoring away, completely unaware of the mystical forces at play. The mysterious energy continued to swirl around him. He slowly opened his eyes, taking in his surroundings. Where am I? The ceiling looks different. It looks like the cave I was in. Did I go in deeper? Did I roll in deeper somehow? Fated human Haya? Wai Yonho landed hard, sprawling on the ground. He looked around, trying to figure out where he was. Suddenly, a voice boomed, "Welcome to the fated place, successor of my radiant sword." Wai Yonho stared at the source of the voice, a glowing orb. Is this sparkling thing what you're speaking through? The orb responded, yes, I have transcended the restraints of a physical being. I am speaking to you from beyond time and space. The orb continued, accept my will and rule over the world. Wai Yonho recoiled in terror. A ghost, the voice calmly stated. Do not be afraid. I am already dead. Only my will has been left here. The orb declared, I have prepared this for someone who will get here after me, so accept my will without doubt. Wai Yonho's eyes widened. Wait, this situation seems familiar. He glanced around the cave. A cave without human presence. An old man's will. This, a fateful chance? The heavens are rewarding me for my kindness. I won't even have to go to the martial training hall if I become strong right here. There is no time. Inherit my sword and write the morals of the world. Of course, I will teach you my radiant sword. Train yourself endlessly. Okay, you should be talented enough if you have my blood. If you train hard here for 30 years, you should be able to replicate my techniques somewhat. He balked. 30 years? Yes, just 30 years. Wait, I don't think this fate was for me. Look for the next person. The orb pulsed with light, seemingly indifferent to Wai Yonho's sudden change of heart. What? Yeah, I'd rather let this go than stay here for 30 years. But that meeting is how the loser, Wai Yonho, came to be so strong. And so, the legend begins. Yeah, I don't think this is fate. Find someone else. And with that, Wai Yonho turned to leave. Then goodbye. But the orb wasn't about to let him go that easily. Wait. Wai Yonho paused, turning back in confusion. A booming voice echoed through the cave. Wait 1 second. The spirit made his grand entrance. Baek Muhun had arrived. Wai Yonho stared at the newcomer, a bead of sweat trickling down his temple. I was right. You are a scammer. Scammer? How dare you call me that? You pretended to be one thing, and when that didn't work, you revealed your true self. I wasn't pretending. I actually am a spirit who has left his body. A spirit who has left his body. Hiya. Wai Yonho wasted no time and launched himself at the spirit. What are you doing? Wai Yonho recoiled in horror. Why, you're a real ghost? No, the spirit calmly explained. Ghost? This is the spirit transmission arts. something only martial artists at a very high level can use. Well, we call them ghosts. The spirit's face contorted in anger. I said I'm not. Meanwhile, that was how Wai Yongho met his master. Back in the present, Divine Mad Dog continued his tale. Spirit transmission arts. Something like that really exists? The historian nodded, saying, it's a technique that only martial artists of the highest level can attain. Then who's one martial artist who can use that ability? Do you know the Sword Emperor? That's a given. He's the strongest person in history, after all. The greatest person of the Thousand Swords Baek clan and the master who will be remembered in martial arts history? Yes, I'm talking about Baek Muhan, the Radiant Sword. The man who was later called Sword Emperor is the Radiant Martial Sovereign's master. Really? But didn't he live 300 years ago? That's right. He's from an already forgotten generation. Regardless, it's true that he made Wai Yonho. How incredible. Then the Radiant Martial Sovereign who knew that must have requested to become his disciple immediately. Right? Wai Yonho? No, it was the opposite. The Sword Emperor, who figured none of his descendants looked for him for 300 years, needed a disciple at all costs. You must become my disciple. Wai Yonho was having none of it. Why are you throwing a tantrum? I'm not even from the Baek clan. I really can't learn from you. I'm going now. Baek Muhan wasn't about to let him leave. Did you think I'd let you go so easily? Suddenly, a surge of energy slammed the exit shut. Wai Yonho looked up, startled. Huh. Baek Muhan cackled. Haha. What do you think? It's a super thick stone gate. With your current abilities, you'll never lift or break it. Baek Muhan tried to sweeten the deal. But if you learn my martial arts, you'll be able to cut it like a piece of paper and leave. Wai Yonho seemed to consider the offer, but ultimately decided against it. Well, there's no helping it. Baek Muhan was losing his patience. I said you can't cut that stone gate with your abilities. Wai Yonho ignored the spirit's outbursts, and the sound of metal on stone filled the cave. The sound intensified as Wai Yonho began to grind away at the stone gate. Baek Muhan watched in disbelief. What are you doing? Can't you see? I'm digging a hole. Wai Yonho continued to grind away at the stone. No matter how strong it is, it's still stone, which means it'll slowly break down if I grind it with metal. I'll break through in about a year or two. Baek Muhan stares in disbelief. You'll do that for a year or two? The spirit's frustration reached a boiling point. Haha. That's funny when it's coming from someone who spoke of training me for 30 years. This bastard is a madman. I can't even beat him to death. Wai Yonho remained unfazed by the outburst. Just try learning. I won't disappoint you. I don't like you. I'll allow you to leave after 20 years. Wai Yonho considered this, then countered, nah, that's too long. I'd consider it if you said 3 years. Baek Muhan was taken aback by the audacity of the offer. 3? This bastard. You want to learn my martial arts in 3 years. Even if Zhang Sanfeng came back to life, he won't be able to do that. Wai Yonho shrugged. Oh, then I guess we're not meant to be. Baek Muhan let out a string of frustrated noises. The spirit, desperate and on the verge of fading away, shouted, 5 years. Baek Muhan pleaded, give me 5 years. I'll do whatever it takes to make you the strongest in the world in 5 years. Wai Yonho stroked his chin, considering, the strongest martial artist in the world in 5 years. He thought to himself, plus, I've never even heard of a spirit that's as vivid as him. Maybe the technique just isn't told by word of mouth. Maybe he's telling half the truth. If so, he really might have been the strongest master in the world. Wai Yonho grinned, seeing an opportunity. Yeah, let's become a master using this opportunity. 5 years is pretty cheap. He extended his hand, sealing the deal. Fine, I'll try it. Of course. Wai Yonho didn't know he was the Sword Emperor at the time, but the Sword Emperor was quite unfortunate as well, since the person he met at the end of his life just happened to be that guy. Hurry up and wake up, you bastard. Wai Yonho remained blissfully asleep, drool escaping his lips. I'm so tired. Do you not sleep? Oh yeah, you're dead. Well, I'm a human, and humans need to sleep. Don't you know that? Baek Muhan cursed the skies. Okay, I'm sorry. Now let's train. After all, the disciple he had finally received at the end of his life was a lazy bastard. Training as soon as I wake up. He slept all day long and practiced the moves once during training. At this rate, it'll take us 50 years, not 5. Is there no easier way to learn? This is easy enough. If he didn't speak, at the very least, he'd be less annoying. This is why I need to meet a talented master. But making him explode at everything he said. This is why I need to meet a talented master. This is why I need to meet a talented master. This is why I need to meet a talented master. This is why I need to meet a talented master. I'm so sorry about that. If he had a body, he would have suffered from chi deviation and collapsed from anger. Wanting worldly success, wanting to pass down my martial arts, leaving my spirit like this, forcing me to endure this terrible state. If I had a body, I'd beat him up and then teach him. Oh, but master, how did you do that? Do what? He slept all day long and practiced the moves once during training. At this rate, it'll take us 50 years, not 5. Is there no easier way to learn? This is easy enough. He eyed the spirit. Dropping that stone gate. Can't you use that power to manipulate my body to teach me martial arts? Baek Muhan replied, I just pulled the string on a device I had already made in advance. How? You don't have a body. It's unrelated to the body. He continued, I simply used psychic levitation to pull the string with chi alone. Baek Muhan's eyes narrowed. Suddenly, the old man burst into laughter. Why Yonho recoiled. Why didn't I realize it earlier? What's wrong with you, old man? Have you finally gone crazy? Baek Muhan grinned. I was too fixated on thinking that I don't have a body, or are there incomplete parts since I've been maintaining this spirit for 300 years? Anyway, thanks to you, I learned something good. What are you mumbling about, old ma? He stared blankly. Wai Yonho's eyes widened in shock as the orb pulsed with even more power. Baek Muhan grinned, a mischievous glint in his eyes. Thanks to you, I realized that even if I don't have a body, I can still move rocks whenever I want. Wai Yonho's jaw dropped. Old man, and if I can move rocks? With a flourish, Baek Muhan demonstrated his newfound ability, telekinetically manipulating several rocks around him. I can do things like this. Wai Yonho, realizing the implications, desperately tried to backtrack. Wait, old ma, I mean master, let's talk. Wai Yonho screamed in frustration. After that day, Baek Muhan and Wai Yonho's training continued day and night. He learned swordsmanship without rest during the day, and they debated during the night. Whenever Wai Yonho slept, he trained using the unparalleled dream mythic arts Baek Muhan taught him. Living became the sword. The sound of something breaking echoed. Life has become the sword. The sword pierced through the rock. Wai Yonho had no time to be lazy. That was how 5 years passed by in a flash. And when he returned, a hand pressed against the stone wall. With a mighty heave, he pushed the stone door open. Dust billowed out as the ancient seal was broken. He took a deep breath of fresh air. He shook the world. Ha, I'm finally out. 1 day ago. Yonho. Let me sleep a bit more. Yonho. Gosh, I said I'd sleep just a bit more. You don't believe me? Huh, come here. Wai Yonho looked up at his master, confused. What's going on? Baek Muhan smiled. I've learned martial arts for my entire life. My hope was to see the end of it. Baek Muhan began. So I didn't bother with anything but martial arts. At the end of solely chasing martial arts, I became a crabby old man, who was treated distantly by my clan. Wai Yonho tilted his head, observing the spirit. What's up with him today? So unlike him. The old man continued, lost in thought. When I think about it, it was obvious why my clan didn't come looking for me. After all, I abandoned my children and family for martial arts. I thought seeing the end of martial arts would give me everything. But I was wrong. Baek Muhan smiled wistfully. Martial arts is what humans do, so not walking with people to see the end to swordsmanship is meaningless. He turned towards Wai Yonho. You helped me realize that. Wai Yonho stared back, dumbfounded. Baek Muhan looked fondly at Wai Yonho. I taught someone for the first time. I was angry and annoyed. I also felt happiness and learned joy from seeing you grow. And I also learned about fondness. The old man smiled, a bright light surrounding him. Wai Yonho stared at his master, confused by the sudden change in attitude. What's up with you, master? You're acting as if we'll never see each other again. Baek Muhan nodded solemnly. Yes, it's time. Wai Yonho's eyes widened in disbelief. What are you talking about? It's time? Do you think I'll fall for it? You said we should train for 30 years. It's only been 5. You have to exist for 25 more years. I did say that. So what? Baek Muhan held out his hand. The internal chi I gave to you in the form of an elixir was so you could live without eating in here. Eat this. That's not something as easy to maintain as you'd think. Baek Muhan's form flickered. I have no more power left. It's time to say goodbye. Wai Yonho was shocked. Why didn't you tell me? If you had, I would have left, found food, and come back to train. Baek Muhan smiled sadly. Had you left this place, I'm sure you would have come back. Yes, I understand how you feel. Anyway, I enjoyed the time we shared. I wanted to watch you travel and sightsee the world, but this is fine too. Baek Muhan smiled wistfully. In my eyes, Baek Muhan's spirit manifested as a dragon, swirling with energy. He declared, I can already clearly see you crisscrossing through the world. Go see the world. Keep it within you. If so, other things will naturally follow. Wai Yonho looked up at his master with a newfound understanding. Also, see people before you see the world, master. While looking up, I didn't see what was at my feet. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Baek Muhan's spirit began to fade. Even if I can't see you again, even if no one else knows about my existence, your movements, your swordsmanship, I am within them. So, even if you're not outstanding or great, that's fine. Wai Yonho, desperate, reached out as his master's spirit began to fade. Master, you can't leave already. There is still so much I haven't learned. No, it's okay for me not to learn. So just a bit longer. Just one more day. Just be happy. He walked through the cave, the air thick with the lingering energy of his master's presence. Master, you could have told me a bit earlier. So this is why he left without telling me in advance? When did he stack all of this? Damn old man, he should have left nicely. Just what the hell is this? Before disappearing, Baek Moo-hun wrote a message on Wai Yonho's clothes. To summarize, Wai Yonho's martial arts, learned as quickly as possible within 5 years, were still incomplete. Since Wai Yonho wouldn't train once Baek Moo-hun disappeared, Baek Moo-hun put a sort of feature on Wai Yonho's body. That being Baek Moo-hun's inner elixir that Wai Yonho had swallowed would cause his martial arts to improve. You might see it as automatically getting stronger, but it's not exactly that. If the martial arts Wai Yonho is experiencing and obtaining is slower than the speed of the inner elixir training, do you think I'm crazy? Body, inner elixir. His inner energy would be sucked in by Baek Moo-hun, and he'd die. To summarize, you'll die if you're lazy in training, brat. That damned old man was up to no good. So, travel the world and see different things. When you see the world, you'll feel things. And when you feel things, you'll learn things. Don't be satisfied with becoming a small person staying in a small place. See big things and become a big person. Damned master. So, the first place you must go to is Rulin. Find the world's greatest scholar, and stay with him. Huh, what? Wait. You'll definitely feel something after Rulin. Wait, you damn master. Gosh, how many places are you telling me to go? Ha, I was going to go home. I'm sure. My brother is okay, but I'll go back after resolving everything, so don't worry too much, mother and father. Wai Yonho turned his gaze toward the horizon, a mix of determination and resignation on his face. Wai Yonho steeled himself. I have to do what I must. He bowed deeply, a final farewell to his old life. With a determined look, he declared, I won't be back. So just be aware. Bothering me until the end. He started his journey, but immediately hit a snag. Gosh, but where is Rulin? Meanwhile, Baek Moo-hun's spirit lingered near the cave entrance. He erupted into maniacal laughter. Kikik, kahahaha. You bastard. If you don't learn about the world, you'll dry up like a mummy and die? What kind of martial arts exists in the world like that? Haha, I can't let you just live in some random place in the middle of nowhere. The world is too broad to let you do that. And it's a waste of your martial arts, you bastard. Baek Moo-hun's spirit faded. I was happy thanks to you. His voice echoed in the air. Be happy. Wai Yonho paused, taking in his surroundings, the smell of grass. And so, time passed, until he arrived in Kaifeng. He took his first step into the world, then another. Just then, a figure approached. Excuse me, Wai Yonho. Is this Kaifeng? Wai Yonho looked up at the newcomer. He squinted at the ragged figure. Who is this mummy? Yes, beggar sect branch leader Jang Il. Jang Il spoke with a slight stammer. I came because I had something to ask. Wai Yonho interrupted him, already knowing the deal. Money? I need to pay. Of course, nothing in this world is free. Wai Yonho's eyes narrowed. His voice sounds like he's barely 20, but his face looks to be 50. Anyway, I've never seen such a beggar amongst all the beggars I've seen. He seems more like a ghost than a person. Wai Yonho raised his hand, palm out. I want to do it for free since it seems we're in the same field, but it's the rules here. Same field? Yes, since we're both beggars. Jang Il was taken aback. How do I look like a beggar? Wai Yonho replied matter-of-factly. You're obviously a beggar. Wai Yonho gestured dismissively. Anyway, if you have no money, I can't give you info or anything. So leave. Come with some money after doing some begging, Jang Il retorted. Why would I beg when I'm not a beggar? Wai Yonho shrugged. It's not that beggars beg. It's that once you beg, you're a beggar. You look like you could make money by just putting a basket in front of where you sit. So why are you wasting your talents? Wai Yonho paused, considering. He grabbed Jang Il's hand. Hey, do you want to work with me? Wai Yonho looked at Jang Il expectantly. With what? Suddenly, a torrent of coins rained down, glistening against Wai Yonho's abs. The coins piled up, forming small mountains around the two men. Jang Il grinned, ecstatic. Kihahaha, to earn half a year of operating costs for this branch in half a day. Outside, the other information brokers were abuzz. The god of wealth has come. The god of wealth has come. What's going on? Apparently, a really pathetic beggar has come. Back inside, Jang Il leaned forward, eager to please. So, what do you want to know? Wai Yonho rattled off his requests. A list of locations, hobbies, and specialties of famous scholars. That's easy. A list of locations, hobbies, and specialties of famous blacksmiths. That too. Jang Il was stunned by the sheer volume of requests. A list what? All of that? He sighed, resigned to his promise. I did promise you, so I'll tell you. Come back in 7 days. And I never told you to lie down, Wai Yonho responded. I have nowhere to go. I have nothing to do, so I'll just stay here. Jang Il relented. Stay here. Fine, then stay. And a few days later, Jang Il came to regret those words. An underling burst into the room, frantic. Branch leader, there's trouble. Jang Il snapped back. What's the fuss? What trouble could there be for some beggars? The underling stammered. So, our beggar sect. The beggar sect wailed. I think we're going to starve to death. Jang Il was taken aback. What? The other information brokers yelled at the fake beggars. How dare you fake beggars come to try and beg? Buzz off. The fake beggar sect was speechless. Ah, the underling shouted. Hurry this way. It's over there. So what's going on? Jang Il's eyes widened. This. The information broker sneered. Hey, you bastards. If you're beggars, you have to at least. He continued. Be on that level. I've never seen someone who looked so poor. poor. Gosh, how pitiful. Coins rained down on Wai Yonho. Eat something, you bastard. Wai Yonho stared, dumbfounded. Wai Yonho smiled slyly. It's easy to make money. Taking over the beggar world, complete. Wai Yonho, now the de facto head of the beggar sect, had some demands. I'm thirsty. He immediately started ordering people around. Hey, water! Bring me water! He was a demanding boss. This bowl is dirty. Bring water over in a new bowl, you stupid beggar. Wai Yonho continued to make demands. It's also lukewarm. Bring cold water from the damn mountains. How many times do I have to tell you? After getting what he wanted, Wai Yonho finally relaxed. MMH, nice? How nice? Cook, damn it. Jang Il grumbled under his breath. I'm a branch leader of the beggar sect having to act as a servant for that stupid beggar. He knew he couldn't do anything about it. But if I kick him out, hey aunt, my guys will starve. Wai Yonho was getting impatient. When's the damn information that he requested for gonna get here? My back hurts. Geez, that's no good. We're all gonna end up dead at this rate. Just then, an underling burst in, waving a packet of papers. Branch leader, the information's here. Jang Il was relieved. Finally, he let out of relief. Is this all? Huh, you really want to sell something like this for money? What do you mean? Wai Yonho reached out his hand impatiently. Give it. Wai Yonho stared at the packet of papers in disbelief. Are these fuckers actually trying to kill us all? This is only, like, half of what he requested. Jang Il was panicking. This is bad. I need to do something. Is it because I didn't pay you enough? Wait, before this bastard acts first. Just then, members of the beggar sect grabbed Wai Yonho. We can't have you begging on the streets. Come this way. I'll give you information. A mysterious woman greeted him. How rare to see you here, fox dog. Just then, a mysterious woman greeted him. How sect Kaifeng's branch leader Gui Nang Nang. I offer my greetings to branch leader Gui. Fox dog? Fox dog? Is that your title? A dog? You a little bitch, huh? Haha. This damn bastard. I need informa, bitch. Informatio, bitch. This is surprising. The beggar sect's branch leader of Kaifeng is coming to the house sect for information? I'm sure you're aware that we're rivals. What brings you here? I'm not asking for the beggar sect. I brought a customer here. Bitch. Are you kidding me right now? Gui Nang Nang tilted her head, her expression hardening. It's not the beggar sect asking, but the client is a beggar? She continued, her voice laced with suspicion. Are you insulting us? Or is this a provocation of sorts? We do not have information to sell to the beggar sect. Wai Yonho casually flicked away the finger poking at his cheek. I'm not from the beggar sect. Stop poking me. Gui Nang Nang's eyes narrowed, a hint of steel entering her voice. I will have no choice but to take action if you keep insulting us in this manner. Please be aware that we have pride. Wai Yonho raised an eyebrow, seemingly unfazed by her threat. Isn't the house sect an intelligence organization? He smirked, leaning forward slightly. But you don't even know if I'm from the beggar sect or not? You're living off of selling information when you don't even know that? You don't even have the basics down. A sinister smile crept across Gui Nang Nang's face. The woman's aide spoke up. Ma'am, who is he? He asked. Gui Nang Nang responded. We do not know about him, but he is not from the beggar sect. Wai Yonho grinned, spreading his hands wide. See, you can sell information to me now, right? Gui Nang Nang's sinister smile widened. No, huh? I don't want to. Get out. Wai Yonho just chuckled. Ha. Wai Yonho tilted his head slightly. You don't have a business mindset. I'm offering to pay you, yet you still refuse? He continued, unfazed by her refusal. I guess it's not long until the house sect is done for. Gui Nang Nang's eyes narrowed dangerously. You'd better watch that mouth of yours unless you want to see your limbs cut off. Well, I'm not wrong, am I? Old lady? The insult hit its mark. Are you insulting us right now? Her aide, Gongmu, stepped forward, incensed. Gongmu, ma'am, teach him a lesson. Gongmu didn't hesitate. Yes, ma'am. Gongmu's strike descended like a hammer blow. He was determined to make an example of Wai Yonho for daring to insult his mistress. But Wai Yonho wasn't having it. No, move. With a burst of speed, he unleashed a counterattack. Gongmu was sent flying, crashing into the ground. Gui Nang Nang's eyes widened in disbelief. The other aide looked on in horror. Ah, you're a martial master? Oh, sorry. It's just my instinct to counterattack if someone tries to hit me. I would have gone much easier if you had told me you were gonna attack. I did think that he probably learned martial arts, but I didn't expect him to be this strong. He's basically a monster. This is all that old man's fault. I didn't know you were such a prestigious customer. What are you talking about? You've been talking to me this entire time. In any case, it doesn't seem like you're here with good intentions. Huh, you probably won't believe me, but I really am not here to fight. There was just information that the beggar sect could not obtain, so I came here to ask for your help. That's why you brought him here. Get out of here. Yes. You know this is akin to bringing a tiger over to a rabbit's den and asking for just some fur, right? I know it's hard to believe, but I'm serious. Alright, I'll believe you. Thanks. But giving you information is a separate matter. It's true that your client hurt my person. We are going to need compensation for that. Compensation? There's a simple rule in the unorthodox world. Blood for blood. A life for a life. Four shadows. As the beggar sect moved in, the four shadows made their grand entrance. Everyone has a fancy way of making an appearance in this place. I don't know what your purpose in being here is, but since you have hurt one of us, you will not be able to leave unharmed. Why Yonho tried to reason with them. Man, is it that hard to understand? I told you, it was a mistake. I just hit him lightly because he tried to hit me first. The woman with the heavy makeup sneered. This skeleton-looking fucker. One of the four shadows declared. The unorthodox Mirim's ways are simple. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Why Yonho scoffed. That sounds like some loan shark bullshit. Hey, I told you to stop. The shadow's response was cold. We're just going to take a bit of flesh from your face and be done with it. Why Yonho raised a hand, trying to ward them off. Hey, sorry to break it to you, but I don't really have any fat on my face. I haven't been able to eat properly recently. The woman's expression twisted with malice. Kill him. The shadows lunged forward, blades flashing in the dim light. Why Yonho, dodging the initial assault, couldn't help but comment. I thought you guys just couldn't have you a little bit of my face. Now you want to kill me? He shook his head slightly. That's a whole lot of interest. Scary. The blades continued to rain down, forcing Wai Yonho to focus on defense. He barely managed to evade a strike that would have cleaved him in two. Wai Yonho's expression twisted in pain as he took a beating, but he quickly recovered, his face now stoic. One of the assassins screamed in terror. Wai Yonho declared, nobody move. He paused, as if considering his next words. I don't really want to kill yet. Wai Yonho stood tall, his eyes gleaming with a dangerous light. Nobody move. I don't really want to kill yet. The air crackled with an ominous energy. Gui Nang Nang's face paled. His aura is... Suddenly, a memory surfaced in her mind, a lesson from her master. My master told me that if someone is willing to attack once, they will be willing to attack 3 or even 4 times. So that I should never let that happen. I don't like that old man, but he's never said anything wrong. Her eyes widened with a chilling realization. I messed with the wrong person. He's not someone I can handle. I need to get it together. If I do anything wrong, this entire branch of the house sect might just meet its downfall. What do you want? Information. Yes, but what information? I have the papers. I hope you can fill out the empty spots here. This is it? They brought a monster like him to the house sect because they couldn't resolve such a simple matter? It's nothing difficult. I just need some time. Can you wait? Yes. Then, give me about 15 minutes. As for the beggar sect's branch leader, come see me. Heek. Jang Io burst into laughter. Ha! He pointed and howled. Pua haha, your face is like a dumpling. Did she beat you up? Haha, but Jang Io's laughter was cut short. Shut up. Jang Io continued to mock him. I guess the beggar sect is nothing, seeing as you're getting beaten up by the house sect. Does that woman look like a mere regular member of the house sect? The beggar sect member explained his situation. She's the daughter of the house sect leader. She's the future leader of the house sect. She ate miracle medicines like meals and had all kinds of good things. How could I be a match for her? Gui Nang Nang stood silently. The beggar sect member nervously presented the information to Wai Yonho. I've brought the information, Gui Nang Nang responded. Oh, thanks. However, we do have our own rules. Huh, information fees. Ah, how much? 5 niang. That's cheap. Here, silver niang. Why is it so expensive? It was actually pretty high security information. That's why it's pricey. Oh well, where are you going? What do you think? I have to go earn my 5 silver niang. Jang Io grabbed at Wai Yonho's legs, desperate. No, I brought you here for a reason. What? What am I supposed to do then? Jang Io was at his wit's end. Wait a second. Kavuk. Damn it. Jang Il used up all the money Wai Yonho had earned along with his hidden stash to cough up the 5 silver niang. What he didn't have, he borrowed with an IOU. With tears in his eyes, he handed over the money. My heart aches. Hey, are you crying? Wai Yonho examined the information. Hey, you evil bastard. I had to use up all my hidden savings. This is definitely really thorough. It's in a whole other league compared to the information that the beggars bring in. I guess you guys are on different levels. I also want to send a letter to Guangdong. Is that gonna be expensive? The woman smirked, laying out her terms. It'll be more expensive than an escort agency, but I'll do it in exchange for you answering some of my questions. She began the interrogation. What's your name? Wai Yonho replied. It's Wai Yonho. Your age? I'm now 17. She was taken aback. What? You're younger than me? She stared at him, sweat trickling down her face. 17. His martial prowess is not that of a 17-year-old. She muttered to herself, trying to place the name. Wai Yonho. Wai Yonho. Recognition flashed in her eyes. Guangdong's Wai Yonho. Are you the second son of Guangdong's Wai clan? Wai Yonho tilted his head, surprised. Huh, you know me? The woman confirmed her suspicions. Of course, the Guangdong's Wai clan requested us to find you. Wai Yonho, the second son of the Guangdong's Wai clan? You're Sanho's younger brother? Huh, you know my older brother? Wai Yonho asked, surprised. The woman smiled. Of course, I'm his friend, she confirmed. Are you sending the letter to the Guangdong's Wai clan? It'll take at least 10 days to arrive, Jang Il thought to himself. I've been subordinating myself to this kid. It's alright. They waited 5 years. 10 more days won't hurt. Also this, she held out a length of red cloth. It marks you as a special guest of the house sect. If you tie it where you want, an informant of the house sect will come find you. She continued, someone who is skilled enough to take down the 4 swords at the age of 17? Oh, for free? No. There's no one like that in the Central Plains. Creating a connection with him like this should do us good, she thought to herself. Then it's useless. In that case, I'll give you information for free next time, Wai Yonho asked. Really? She replied. It's specially for you. We don't want to lose you as a customer because of what happened earlier. Nothing really happened, right? My face is like a dumpling and I have been rendered completely broke. Well, it happens often. You're a loser. Why Yonho shouted back. I'm not. He hung his head. Damn it, my money. Baek Muhan's voice echoed in his head. Money comes and goes. Besides, a beggar shouldn't be greedy like that. Tap into your beggar roots. Why Yonho grimaced. I can't even beat this guy up. Baek Muhan continued anyway. You got the information you wanted. So we won't have to see each other anymore, right? Why Yonho stopped him. Wait, well, there's a problem. Baek Muhan glared at him. What now? Why Yonho flashed a disarming smile. I don't have money. His words wiped the smile right off of Gui Nangnang's face. The insult landed. Shit! Gui Nangnang turned to her aide. Go Mu, yes, branch leader, she ordered. Send a letter to the sect. Tell them the second son of the Guangdong's Wu clan who went missing. The message was sent. The second son of Guangdong's Wu clan has come back as a martial master. Meanwhile, at the Songlin Great Hanlin Institute, Mun Yuan enjoyed a quiet moment. How nice. Third Grand Scholar Mun Yuan. Just then, Mun Yuan's daughter, Mun Yunji, arrived. Father, a guest is here for you. Mun Yunji stood respectfully. I don't have anything on the schedule today though. They said they wanted to play a game of Go with you. Go? Just then, Mun Yunji appeared to announce, the guest is here. The guest arrived, saying, I hope I'm not intruding. Mun Yuan greeted his guest warmly. Of course not. It is an indulgence to have guests over. I heard you wanted to play Go with me? The guest replied. That's the only kind of thing I know to play. Mun Yuan smiled. Alright, let's give it a go then. I'll play the white. Please go first. The guest nodded. I'll begin. Wai Yonho placed his first stone on the Go board. Mun Yuan watched him carefully, thinking, I guess I shouldn't expect much from him. He looks like he's here to get a free meal, so I'll just help him out after a game. Wai Yonho quickly placed another stone. The stone landed with a resounding thwack. Mun Yuan's eyes widened slightly. He thought, I guess he's not a beginner. That's nice. Let's see. The game commenced, with the stones falling in quick succession. Tap, thok, tap, thok. Mun Yuan watched Wai Yonho's moves, impressed. He's fast with his moves. It's rare to see someone his age so experienced. Tap, thok, tap, thok, tap, thok, tap, thok. The stones continued to fall. Mun Yuan's expression shifted, a hint of shock creeping in. What the hell? He isn't just being fast. Wai Yonho smirked, leaning forward slightly. Aren't you gonna go? He's a war demon. The stones continued to fall, each move deliberate and calculated. Mun Yuan could only think, amazing. The game continued, each stone placed with the weight of a mountain. He thought, his playstyle is like that of angry ocean waves. He's like a person crazed for battles, attacking boldly even when a fight is not necessary. If he sees even a slight opening, he charges like a starving demon and chomps down. Mun Yuan could only think, amazing. The game continued, each stone placed with the weight of a mountain. He thought, his playstyle is like that of angry ocean waves. He's like a person crazed for battles, attacking boldly even when a fight is not necessary. If he sees even a slight opening, he charges like a starving demon and chomps down. He's a war demon. Wai Yonho smirked, pleased with himself. Mun Yuan complimented him. That was a good game. You have quite a unique playstyle. Wai Yonho replied, thank you. It's because of all the bullying I endured from my master. Mun Yuan was surprised. You had a master? Wai Yonho recalled his master's harsh training. If you lose, your training is going to be 10 times the intensity. If I lose, I'll give you 3 days of rest. Wai Yonho thought, yes, a very strict old man. Wai Yonho then said, if it's not too much to ask, I would love to stay over a bit. My master told me to stay in Rulin for a while. Mun Yuan smiled. Ah, you're following his teachings. Of course, I'll help. I'll prepare a room for you. Please stay as long as you would like. Mun Yuan instructed his daughter, prepare a room and clothes for him. Guide him to the bath too, she responded. I understand. Wai Yonho then said, but I don't have money. Mun Yuan chuckled, haha, I wouldn't expect payment from a guest like you. I was actually going to ask you to stay here if you had not asked. In return, please play Go with either me or a guest sometimes. Wai Yonho agreed. I can do that. Mun Yuan gestured to his daughter. Then, see you around. Come with me. Yunji led Wai Yonho away. Wai Yonho sank into the steaming bath with a ha. This is nice. He relaxed, letting the water soothe his muscles. I hated baths when I was younger. Maybe it's because this water is nice. My skin feels like it's getting clearer too. Wai Yonho luxuriated in the bath. I'm almost gonna cry from how nice this is. This is all that damned old man's fault. Meanwhile, Yunji entered the room with fresh towels. She frowned, clearly confused. I don't get it at all. Why did father accept someone like him as a guest? She placed the towels down. She turned to leave, but then she saw Wai Yonho. What? I thought you were a ghost. Please cover up. Well, Yunji's face flushed crimson. Wai Yonho emerged from behind the towel, looking like a glistening statue carved from pure muscle. Is that good enough? Yunji stumbled back, utterly flustered. Who are you? A few days later. Father, please say something to that person. Who? The new guy. Yunji was furious. He doesn't leave his room at all. He sleeps all day if he's not eating. That's what he's been doing all week. Meanwhile, her father remained calm, seemingly unconcerned by the new houseguest's behavior. Yoonji continued her rant. I forgot to ask his name. You said that sloth is a sin. You said that one should always keep himself busy. So why aren't you saying anything about him being lazy? He might be a guest, but he's ruining the atmosphere. Mun Yuan finally responded, his gaze thoughtful. Yoonji, I let go. You can learn a lot about your opponent when playing. You can hide your facial expressions and watch your words, but you cannot hide yourself when playing Go. A person who is impatient cannot play patiently, and those who are the opposite cannot learn to enjoy battle. You can tell how someone has lived their life by with their personality when you play Go with them. He paused, reflecting on his game with Wai Yonho. His playstyle was rushed and rough. I've never seen a playstyle like his. He's definitely not a lazy person. I assume he's lived a very rough life. If the sun shines down brightly, the shadows it casts will be just as dark. If he is being lazy, I'm sure it just means his life until now has been very hard. One should not chase away a bird that has come under the roof to avoid the rain. You should not question the bird about why it is not flying through the rain, so let him rest. Alright, phew, is what I said. Father's been deceived. There's no way this lazy ass is like father described. I'm going to get him kicked out of this place. Get up. Why? She ripped the covers off him. Get up. The sun is up. Wai Yonho casually sat up, looking unbothered. Really? Then let me know when the sun sets. The girl was furious. What the hell is wrong with you? Everyone studies here. Why are you doing nothing other than sleeping for a whole week? Those people are studying because they want to study. I'm sleeping because I want to sleep. So what's the problem? She was at her wit's end. Shut up. I can't stand watching you just roll around here without even taking a bath. Who do you think is washing your bedsheets? You need to at least do something to pay for the food you eat. I guess you wouldn't know, but we're not that well off. We can feed people who study, but we don't have enough to feed someone who just lazes around. But your father said she started, but the girl cut him off. I'm the one in charge of the money. She glared, daring him to argue. Wai Yonho, seeing no way out, asked, then what should I do? She smirked. Do the laundry. He eyed the mountain of clothes with dismay. All of this? It's not much. This will cover my food? You'd think you're putting gold flakes in my rice. She ignored his complaining. Good luck. Make sure it's clean. I'm going to make rewash what's not clean, so do a thorough job. She gave him a final, satisfied look. You deserve this. You won't be able to finish all that by today. 2 hours later, she stared in disbelief. How did he dash? Were they always this white? How the hell did he do this? No, I can't let him just laze around again. I'll get him. She marched off, presumably to find more chores for the lazy sovereign. All of this? I'll give you a week. You can do it, right? I bet he'll run away after a day. What the hell? That should have taken 10 people 10 days to do. Dishwashing dash? Gardening how? How is he so capable? Thus, Wai Yonho's ruling life began. But it was a mistake to take him in. He never should have let that guy into his home. Why? Because that guy brings disaster wherever he goes. It may not be intended, but wherever he goes, trouble follows. It was the same with ruling. A scholar hall that had been so quiet and peaceful was swept over with chaos once Wai Yonho showed up. What happened? It all began when Go. Phew, how did I thought it was gonna be occasional. They all must have received a letter. Well, he must be really good if the third grand scholar sent out letters. I wonder how unique his playstyle is. I came here in a hurry because I was curious too. Bringing people here to play with me is cheating. The third grand scholar pens a letter. A stone that stays stagnant rots. A laid table waits for its owner. If the time is right, please visit for a game of Go. A master of Go appeared. It's my loss. Wai Yonho smirked, clearly enjoying the game. Whoa, next, whoa. In the Great Hanlim Institute, the game continued at a feverish pace. Mun Yuan's brow furrowed. What kind of move was that? It's basically suicide. Is it a mistake? No, there's no way. Maybe if he were a regular civilian, but my opponent is the undefeated genius of Hanlim. Yeah, he must have some plan in mind. It's got to be a trap. I must avoid it. He's shaking? I'm sure he was plotting something. It's good that I avoided it. Why did you back off there? Why? I did that so I can lose. I'll be playing Go forever if I don't lose. Fall for it. I will lose in 10 moves, so take the bait. Cook, I lose. Wai Yonho smiled through the pain. For fuck's sake. Wai Yonho trudged down the hallway, shoulders slumped. He thought, I kept making suicidal moves so that I could lose, but they have just been scaring off my opponents instead. At this rate, he feared, he was going to have even more people coming to play Go with him. He'd rather do the laundry, even with his aching back. Wai Yonho heard someone call out to him. I said I don't want to. He peered around the corner. Nak Mokpung, dripping in gold jewelry, leaned in close. You really don't want to marry me? Yoonji stood firm, arms crossed. No. Absolutely not. Nak Mokpung sneered. You're gonna regret it. Yoonji shot back. I won't. The man continued. You better think it through again. I've always gotten what I wanted. I will never let go of something I want. I'm just offering right now, but if you keep refusing me, it won't be an offer next time. Yoonji scoffed. Are you sure it's alright for the Great Hanlim Institute to fall just because of you? She threw her hands out. Do as you wish. The Great Hanlim Institute won't fall that easily. Nak Mokpung seemed unconcerned. Sure, but I can make it happen. I'm sure you're aware of that too. Yoonji's expression turned to one of pure fury. Yoonji's fury reached a boiling point. I hate that about you. Do you think that everything will just work out in your favor? It's not impossible. No, I'm never gonna marry you. So it is impossible. Nak Mokpung simply replied, then, goodbye. He grabbed her wrist. Yoonji struggled. Let me go. Nak Mokpung's face contorted in anger. It's in your best interest not to anger me. He leaned in close, his voice dripping with menace. Do you think you can still act so bold even if I try to take you right here, right now? Yoonji's eyes widened with fear. Nak Mokpung's words hung in the air, heavy with threat, as Yoonji stared at him, shocked. That's not something you should be saying in someone else's house. Why Yonho's expression darkened. Just then, Yoonji's father, Manhwa, stormed in, furious. Have you already finished doing the laundry and firewood? Why Yonho looked up, seemingly confused by the sudden outburst. I've been playing Go until now. What are you talking of? Before he could finish, Wai Yonho snatched the ribbon from her hair. Let me borrow this. He casually tied his hair back with her ribbon. His eyes narrowed, a silent warning. The man glared down at Wai Yonho. Don't you think it's rude to listen in on others' conversations? Wai Yonho, unfazed, replied, sorry. I don't really know my manners. That being said, I don't think you should be one to talk about manners. Do people who care about manners usually act like man as you do? The man's expression shifted slightly. You must be the genius of Hanlim. Wai Yonho gave him a blank stare. Thanks for recognizing me, but I have no idea who you are. The man started to introduce himself, but Wai Yonho cut him off. It's alright. I really don't care. The man's face contorted in frustration. Wai Yonho sighed, clearly annoyed. The genius of Hanlim, you should have just continued to play Go instead of getting in my way. Wai Yonho smirked. Ever the instigator. What a shame. I'm really good at getting in people's way. Just like right now. The man's face twisted in rage. You fucker. The man stormed off. Oblivious, Wai Yonho turned to the others. Who's that? Oh, are you here to play Go too? Please play with me tomorrow too. Sure. The man clicked his tongue. I'll leave. He paused, issuing a veiled threat. But don't forget, if you don't come running into my arms in 3 days, I'm going to do things my way. Wai Yonho watched as the man stormed off, leaving him slightly puzzled. Who was that? A man called Nak Mokbang. He's the adopted son of the Imperial Palace attendant who wields a lot of power. What was he saying to you? He wants me to marry him. I've said no every single time, but it's so annoying. Isn't he alright? He's from a good family and he's determined. Do you want to die? She continued. He's not trying to marry me because he likes me. He just wants to use me. You might not know, but my father has a really good network in Rulin. People say that he's a perfect candidate to be a politician too. The reason he lives this life despite all that isn't just because he has no interest in civil service. The boy scoffed. It must be because of Go, right? No, it's because the eunuchs of the Imperial Palace are very wary of my father. Confused, the boy tilted his head. The eunuchs? But your father is just an owner of this institute. So why would they be wary of him? She exclaimed. It's not just some institute. The Great Hanlim Institute is different from the others. We are not affiliated with any other organization. So getting to this point was difficult, but thanks to that, we have been able to form many deep connections with other organizations. The reason the eunuchs are in power despite being corrupt and useless is because the forces of Rulin have not unified to drive them out. However, if father were able to control the forces of Rulin, the eunuchs would be in danger? Yes. That's why Nak Mokpung's father is desperate to stop my father from taking on civil service. Recently, he has found a new way, a way to not have to fear Rulin uniting while also gaining a close connection to a powerful figure of Rulin. It's the marriage between Nak Mokpung and I. I'm sorry, father. An individual called the Genius of Hanlim appeared, so it might be hard to continue with the plan. The Genius of Hanlim? A useless good-for-nothing who just plays Go all day, head of the eunuchs Nak Gi. He continued. He's not the problem. Rather, there are people from all over the nation coming to play Go against him. Nak Gi explained, there are too many eyes watching. My actions are limited because of it. It might be bad if I were to try to do something amidst all that. The man turned away from the window. I see why you're hesitant then. I apologize. He turned back, his expression serious. However, do you think that this mission is just for my sake? Nak Gi was stunned. The man raised his hand. Taking over the Imperial Palace is a mission given by the one and only. Failing this mission is not an option. For you and me both. I am more afraid to disappoint him than I am of death. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, I'm well aware. Sometimes, violence is necessary. You mean, use the crowd to your advantage. Kill them all, including the Genius of Hanlim. Hey, Mr. Y, open your eyes. Meanwhile, a tense conversation was brewing elsewhere. Yuangia, head of the inspectorate office and the emperor's younger brother, asked, so, still have no intention of taking a government post? Wai Yonho simply replied, I apologize. Yuangia pressed him. Do you not know that you must maintain balance at the center to prevent Nak Gi? Yuangia sighed heavily. Hey Yuan, lately, Their movements are not ordinary. Even among the military and the literati, some unsettling movements are being seen. Corruption is piercing right through Nakji. Iwange's expression grew more intense. But is that the reason you want to ask why a eunuch who cannot forget the humiliation is trying to start a rebellion? Yes, that's right. Then what do you think about this? What if the master he serves is a different one? The eunuch's power struggles are more frightening than we can imagine. But Nakji, who had no foundation, defeated all of them and ascended to his current position. But isn't it really strange? Those who were hostile to him lost their lives in accidents, and even those who weren't died of sudden illnesses. It happened too frequently. It's as if someone had prepared the position for him to ascend to beforehand. It could also be a coincidence. I also thought that way until recently, but while watching his recent movements, I wondered if there might be someone behind him. That is why I need you. We must gather the scholars into one. Only then will we be able to resist, you see. I will think about it a little more. Ahem. Alright, let's do that. What kind of person is the talent you mentioned? He is an extraordinary person. I might say he seems to be hiding himself. Since you are so pleased with him, I am curious too. When can I meet him? He's hiding himself? As it happens, Yunji has likely gone to bring him now. Father. Oh, he's here, come in. The sound of footsteps echoed as someone approached. Wai Yonho, still dripping wet, asked, Are you calling me, sir? He followed Yunji into the room. Wai Yonho looked at the two men. Wai Yonho said, I apologize for the early intrusion. Did you sleep well? He continued, Yes, I slept very well. I could have slept a little better if someone hadn't poured cold water on my sleeping face. It's a shame. The man chuckled. Haha. So that's what happened. Still, it seems you slept soundly. So that's a relief. The reason I called you is that there's someone I would like to introduce you to. Just an old man passing by. Let's just say that. That's an explanation that seems to have quite a story behind it. So, what is the matter? What business could I possibly have with Hanlin Academy? I just wanted to play a game of Go, of course. But I can't. You can't? Yes. Aren't you already exchanging plays with those who come here? It's not that I won't play Go. The point is to respect the order. There are people who came first, so please wait your turn, sir. Haha, if that's the problem, I'll take care of it. I'll ask the others for their understanding. You can't call that a solution, can you? That's called coercion. From what I can see, your status seems quite high, so if you speak, the others will have no choice but to go along with it. But they won't be convinced. There are things called principles and promises, you see. Isn't he a person with more resolve than I thought? This is troublesome. How can it not work? I'm telling you. You just have to wait. Ahem. Father, I think I can solve it. You? Yes. Yunji scoffed at his words. Principles? Promises? You're just messing around, aren't you? What is that, man? She mentioned the remaining Go game that you have to play today in just one match. He blinked. Nakji's eyes widened. I will cancel everything for you, he exclaimed. What? Wai Yonho considered the offer. Really, it is a tempting thing, but for me, too, there are things called principles and duties. If it's cancelled until tomorrow, I can't do it until tomorrow. Yunji narrowed her eyes. If you want to rest even today, don't play any tricks. There will be no more negotiations. Make your decision now. Wai Yonho sat down at the board. The match. I will begin. Meanwhile, Nakji and another man watched from afar. Nakji's companion watched the game, unimpressed. He is the worst. Isn't this guy all talk and no action? Nakji responded. If he messed up, I'd just get up and leave, but if we started, we must see it to the end. He was determined to see this through. Let's see what kind of guy you are. Wai Yonho placed another stone on the board, seemingly without a care in the world. Nakji watched him intently. His companion asked, Were you not happy with the game of Go with him? Nakji paused, his expression unreadable, as he considered the question. Nakji was shocked by Wai Yonho's aggressive playing style. What a ferocious style of play. Isn't this a style of play that wouldn't appear even on a battlefield? He wondered, what kind of life on earth have you lived? Nakji watched Yonho play, but something didn't sit right with him. But it doesn't match. The brutal side revealed on the board, or the lazy side he usually shows, is not the image of the talent I want. Nakji turned to his companion. It was a waste of time. I absolutely can't understand why you value that person so highly. Because I have seen it. His companion seemed confused. You've seen it? Nakji nodded. While playing a great game with him, I once played a divine move for just a single moment. He looked back at the board. Even to me, I think it was a truly good move. Now that I thought the great game was over, I took my eyes off the board and looked to the other side. In that place, a person who has fallen to the extreme, who with great difficulty, once in a while reveals. Nakji's eyes widened as he seemed to see something beyond Wai Yonho's usual facade, a face of selflessness. The older man walked beside Nakji, observing his reaction with annoying gaze. Did you perhaps see it wrong? There is no way I could have seen it wrong. Goodness. Anyway, I have no intention of using that person. Is that so? It was a waste of time. No, since I could see you even like this, I can't call it a waste of time. Anyway, I should be on my way early tomorrow. Are you that busy? Didn't I say? The atmosphere of the Imperial family is not good at all. I see. What a shame. A perfect night with not a single thing to regret. Everything's ready. Good. Under the moonlight, a group of masked figures prepared to strike. Quickly subdue them all. Charge. The assassins moved with deadly precision, blades glinting in the night. Meanwhile, Wai Yonho was having a very different kind of night. Yawn. Wai Yonho blinked in confusion. Suddenly, the serene night was shattered by a brutal assault. A figure dripping in gold stood amidst the chaos. The attackers were cut down without mercy. A thief. Cough. Ugh. The gold-clad figure loomed over the fallen, sneering. You should have listened to me earlier. The gold-clad figure roared. Arrest them all. He continued. Tonight, not a single rat will be able to get out. Meanwhile, Wai Yonho remained blissfully unaware, still fast asleep. From Hanlin Academy, the assassins fell, defeated. Thief dash. Cook. Quack. You. The gold-clad figure loomed, a cruel smile playing on his lips. This is why you should have listened to me while I was still being nice. His face contorted in rage, his features grotesque under the moonlight. He bellowed. Get them all. Meanwhile, a different kind of fury was brewing. Today, I will teach that bitch a lesson. Elsewhere, the remaining assassins stood guard, their swords at the ready. The captured men were bound tightly, their faces etched with fear and confusion. What is the meaning of this? The leader of the captors stepped forward, his gaze sweeping over the group. We received information that there has been suspicious activity in the Great Hanlin Institute. We've heard that all kinds of high authority people have been visiting recently. One of the captured men, his voice trembling, retorted, How is that suspicious at all? The leader leaned in, his expression hardening. What reason could there be for people with both political and martial power to get together? His eyes narrowed, a grim realization dawning. There is only one possibility, a revolution. Panic flared among the captives. What? A revolution? We're only here to play Go. The leader scoffed, his disbelief palpable. You want me to believe that this many people gathered just to play Go? The leader insisted. I'm serious. I'm sure you've heard rumors about the genius. One of the captives responded. Rumors? Yes, I did hear the rumors, but rumors can be easily made up. And, one of the captors asked, where is he, actually? Who are you looking for? Another responded, the genius that he's talking about. The leader turned back to his men. There are no more people remaining in the building. He wondered, did he run off? He must have left earlier. It would be impossible to run away after we got here. What a lucky bastard. The gold-clad figure addressed the group. Anyway, alright, you'll all be freed if you're innocent. We will free you and apologize if we find that there is no problem. Just then, one of the guards called out, I found it. The guard presented his find. It's an agreement of the people who were planning the revolution. Panic erupted among the captives. What? We've never done such a thing. The gold-clad figure held up the document. There is proof right in front of you. One of the prisoners realized the situation. He came here to frame us. From the beginning, we've been had. Another prisoner desperately tried to explain. It wasn't us. I'm innocent. I didn't know. I didn't come here to partake in such activities. Nok Ji watched the chaos unfold, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. What an interesting incident. The gold-clad figure smirked, looking directly at someone. The gold-clad figure revealed himself as none other than Li Wangya, Royal Head Inspector Li Wangya, the Emperor's brother, he roared, demanding respect. Call me the Royal Head Inspector. The prisoners, seeing their potential savior, were ecstatic. Li Wangya, the Royal Head Inspector Li Wangya? We're saved. He has seen everything, so he will say that we are all innocent. The Royal Head Inspector looked at the prisoners with a sly grin. I wouldn't have done this if I knew that you were here. One of the prisoners pleaded for his freedom. I'm not one to hold grudges, so free us. The Royal Head Inspector paused, a glint in his eye. Before that, I would like to ask you a question. The prisoner responded. What? Li Wangya leaned in, his expression serious. Why did you plan this revolution? The prisoner sputtered in disbelief. What are you talking about? As the other prisoners were being held down, Li Wangya continued his taunt. There is always a central figure to a revolution. I don't assume it was just some scholar. It would make the most sense that it's you, a family member of the Emperor. The man's face twisted in fury. Your arrogance knows no bounds. How dare you frame me? You think you can avoid the consequences of your actions? I will not let you get away with this. Li Wangya sneered. You seem to be misunderstanding something. You won't be able to report to His Majesty about this, because you're not gonna see him ever again. He gestured to the guards. The punishment for revolution is an immediate execution. You will all die here. We have gotten the signatures of the revolutionaries. What will His Majesty think? It's very obvious that you were all planning a revolution. Ha! The prisoner cursed him. You bastard! The heavens won't forgive you for this. Li Wangya simply laughed. Yeah, right. Keep begging. And there's someone who has to die first. Mun Yunji, I warned you that I would do things my way. Thanks to you rejecting me, everyone's gonna end up dead. Are you willing to change your mind now? I'd rather die here than marry someone like you. The man licked his lips in response. The gold-clad figure sneered, his grip tightening. Don't worry, I won't kill you. He continued, his voice dripping with malice. I'll make it so that you think death would be the better outcome. Imagine the worst scenario possible. I will inflict pain upon you that is 100 times worse than what you can ever imagine. Mun Yunji spat back, defiant to the end. You think I'd just let that happen? I'd rather die than be humiliated by you. Is that so? The man's expression darkened. If you kill yourself, your father will be the one to suffer the torment. He gestured to the crowd of prisoners. If your father also kills himself, then the rest of the people here will suffer the torment. He leaned in, his voice a low growl. Don't think that it will end there. All family members related to those who plan a revolution are killed. If you want to kill yourself, then go ahead. Mun Yunji's face contorted in rage and despair. The others will just pay for the sins instead. Haha. The gold-clad figure sneered, reveling in Mun Yunji's torment. So do it. Kill yourself? I wouldn't mind having more people to entertain me anyway. Just then, a voice roared out. Yunji. The gold-clad figure simply smirked. Then shall we begin? Tears streamed down Mun Yunji's face. Please, somebody, help. Mun Yunji's eyes darted around. Desperation etched on her face. She steeled her resolve, a flicker of determination in her eyes. Yunji could only manage a confused Meanwhile, a certain someone was making his escape. He leaped onto the rooftops with surprising agility. He parkoured across the rooftops, making his escape. Just then, a voice rang out. Why Yonho? He froze, sweat dripping down his face. He threw his head back and laughed. Ha 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 ha. What the hell are you doing? Can't you tell? I'm booking it. He continued his escape, but the others weren't buying it. Are you kidding me? What? What's wrong with saying I'm booking it when I am? I guess you don't like the way I said it then? Should I say that I'm excusing myself instead? They were getting desperate. You should be helping us. Why Yonho was unsympathetic. Help you? It's hard enough to keep myself alive. One of them insisted. You learn martial arts. You can help. Why Yonho waved his hand dismissively. You're overestimating my skill level here. The best choice in this kind of situation is to act like I didn't see anything. He scrambled away. I didn't see anything at all. You keep doing what you're doing. Back in the Imperial Palace, the gravity of the situation was becoming clear. The gold-clad figure's face twisted in fury. What a piece of SHT. Stop. He pointed at Wai Yonho. You're already involved in the revolution? The entire world will be after you. You will not be safe anywhere. Wai Yonho shrugged. Well, you can't be sure of that. The gold-clad figure scoffed. You fool. The world may be big, but there are eyes everywhere. It would not be difficult to find you. Wai Yonho waved dismissively. Yeah? Then look for me later. The gold-clad figure's face contorted with rage. Get him. A masked assassin responded instantly. Yes, sir. The assassin lunged. A blade aimed directly at Wai Yonho. One of the Hanlim Academy members screamed in terror. Run! Wai Yonho watched the assassin charge toward him. He smirked. You were telling me to help just earlier, and now you want me to run. What am I supposed to do? The assassin appeared to strike, but it was just an afterimage. He gasped. The attack landed, sending a shockwave through the area. Wai Yonho straightened up, unfazed. Goodness. The woman's eyes widened, sweat beading on her forehead. You're such a strange woman. He stood on the rooftop, looking down at the scene below. The masked assassin was shocked. Afterimage? She crashed to the ground below. The force of her impact shattered the roof tiles. Wai Yonho casually brushed his hair back. Anyway, the woman's eyes were wide with disbelief and a sheen of sweat covered her face. He looked at her with mild curiosity. What a strange woman. Below, the assassin knelt, head bowed. Below, the crowd of prisoners looked on in shock and terror, still bound together. The man's face tightened with anger. What? Wai Yonho casually brushed off the attack. So you had some skill after all. Hee. Thanks for the compliment. The woman's anger flared. That wasn't meant as praise. Wai Yonho simply shrugged. I was just saying. The man turned to his subordinate. Hyukil the subordinate responded. Yes. The man grimaced, his face contorted with rage. How long must I keep enduring this ridiculous humiliation? Hyukil apologized. I apologize. I'll take care of it immediately. The man turned back, confused by Wai Yonho's sudden outburst. Don't kill her. What? The masked assassin's eyes narrowed. I'll rip her apart with my own hands. Understood. The man flexed his fingers, preparing to deal with the situation. The assassin swiftly moved to intercept Wai Yonho. Just then, Wai Yonho raised his hand, stopping the assassin in his tracks. Wait a second. The assassin paused, questioning his order. What is it? Wai Yonho pointed back towards the room they had just left. I need to use my sword. Can you stay here for a moment? I think my sword is in the room. The assassin could only think one thing. Crazy bastard. No, I mean, you look old enough already. And yet when a younger guy says he's just going to grab a sword, you have a problem with it? Shut up. Wai Yonho's expression turned melancholic. 5 years ago, it wasn't like this. How did the world become so harsh in the meantime? The assassin lunged forward, but Wai Yonho casually raised a broom like a weapon. What are you doing? What do you think? Wai Yonho spun the broom in his hand. Since you won't let me get my sword, I'll just use this instead. The assassin's eyes narrowed. Are you mocking me? Wai Yonho tilted his head, feigning innocence. Why are you angry at me? Then let me fetch my sword. The assassin raised his sword, energy crackling around him. I won't kill you, but I'll make you feel pain so intense you'll wish for death instead. The assassin, not amused, warned, even if you later cry and beg. Wai Yonho cut him off mid-threat, yawning widely. Alright, can we just start now? I just woke up, and I'm still sleepy. The masked man's face contorted in rage, the flames behind him seeming to mirror his fury. He screamed, channeling his energy. This body. The assassin lunged with his sword, aiming a powerful strike at Wai Yonho. The force of the blow was immense, sending debris flying. Wai Yonho was sent flying back, the broom clattering away. The masked man lay on the ground, defeated and sputtering. What is this? Wai Yonho stood over him, holding the broom. The other members of the Hanlem Academy looked on in shock. Wai Yonho gripped the broom tightly. Oh, as expected, trash is best cleaned with a broom. He looked completely unfazed. The masked man's face contorted in disbelief. Hirk, the masked man scrambled back, clutching his head. What is this? Wai Yonho stood over him, broom in hand. Be glad it ended at just that because it was me. If it had been my master, you'd already be a corpse. You shouldn't rush in so honestly. First, you should, you. The masked man roared, you bastard. Wai Yonho casually deflected the man's attacks with the broom. I was kindly explaining it to you, and the masked man struggled to keep up with Wai Yonho's movements. Fast, too fast. Wai Yonho casually swept the floor as the masked man fell back, defeated. The masked man grimaced, begrudgingly recognizing Wai Yonho's skill. I don't want to admit it, but I have to. Unbelievable. But that guy isn't just a loudmouth, the masked man declared. However, in real combat, the strongest doesn't always win. Deadly poison 7 steps soul-chasing serpent. Today, I'll make you realize that fact. Wai Yonho tilted his head, replying, huh? Poison? That's dirty, don't you think? The masked man sneered, blame me all you want. Wai Yonho smirked. But that won't work on me. The masked man questioned him. Are you saying you're immune to all poisons? Wai Yonho responded, no, I didn't boil and eat ginseng roots or anything. Of course poison works on me. Wai Yonho paused, considering his words. It's not that I'm immune, more like, Suddenly, Wai Yonho unleashed a whirlwind of broom strikes, creating a vortex of dust and wind. Wai Yonho's smirk widened as the assassin prepared to strike. The assassin's face contorted in a desperate attempt to defend himself. Wai Yonho swung the broom with incredible speed and precision. The assassin thought, I must block it. Don't tell me. Wai Yonho grinned. You actually thought something like I must block it. The broom connected with the assassin, sending him flying. The assassin was struck repeatedly, unable to defend himself against the flurry of attacks. The force of the blows sent shockwaves rippling through the air. The assassin's eyes rolled back as he lost consciousness. The Hanlem Academy members watched in stunned silence. Wai Yonho stood over the fallen assassin, the broom still in his hand. The crowd of prisoners stared in disbelief at the scene before them. Wai Yonho casually leaned on the broom. So my master always said, if the enemy looks like they're preparing something grand, don't wait, just knock them out. Li Wangye's face was a mask of shock. Impossible. To defeat Hyukil so easily? He's the head of the dark force that my father spent decades building. Wai Yonho, still leaning on his broom, offered the man a way out. If you back down here, we'll both be better off. The man began to twirl the rings on his fingers. He looked down at Wai Yonho, a strange smile on his face. Excellent. To display such martial prowess at your age. Truly excellent. Wai Yonho grinned. Well, I guess so. Mun Yunji watched in disbelief. Why are you pleased about that? He's praising me, isn't he? Praising my ass. The man's smile tightened. This brat. The man gestured grandly, clearly impressed. That Hyukil couldn't take you down is unfortunate for me. But looking at it another way, just meeting a martial artist like you makes it worth it. What do you say? Won't you work for me? Wai Yonho narrowed his eyes, instantly suspicious. What are you scheming? The man's offer dripped with temptation. Come to me. I'll give you things you can't even imagine. Power to hold the world in your hand, and immense wealth. Mun Yunji's expression hardened. Anyone with sense and honor would never fall for such honeyed words, right? But he would. So he wanted to hear some numbers. Suddenly, Mun Yunji screamed. Wai Yonho, die! Yunji! The man extended his hand, promising the world. Come to me, then I'll give you things beyond your imagination. I'm saying I'll grant you power to seize the world, and immense wealth. Mun Yunji, still in the clutches of the mind control, could only sputter out the obvious response. Anyone with common sense and morals would never fall for that kind of sweet talk, right? Wai Yonho grinned, cutting her off. But me? I'll fall for it. So, why don't you tell me some exact figures? The man looked on, baffled. What on earth are you doing? Do you mean power and wealth are that important? Wai Yonho didn't even hesitate. They are. Of course they are. Mun Yunji, caught in the middle, could only agree. They definitely are. It's important. Very important. Mun Yunji, still mind-controlled, yelled out. But if he gives you power, how much could it be? If wealth, then how much? I'll give it to you. I will. My backer is the imperial family. Oh, the man scoffed, attempting to outbid the mind-controlled Mun Yunji. What do you think that man could do for you? He may be the emperor's brother, but he's already relinquished everything. He could only get you a minor post in the inspectorate. But my father is different. He can grant you wealth and power anyone would envy. Wai Yonho considered the offers, a grin spreading across his face. It does seem like he's a bit ahead. The man's face twisted in anger. How can aiding a traitor in rebellion and exposing a true rebellion be the same thing? Did your master not teach you about right conduct? My master? The man pressed, desperate to sway Wai Yonho. Yes. What did your master say? What did he tell you to do in situations like this? Since you mention him so often, you must treat his words as law. Mun Yunji, still struggling against the mind control, chimed in. Surely your master wouldn't have taught you anything wrong. It must be something helpful to us. Wai Yonho snapped his fingers, a sly grin on his face. My master, At times like this. That's it. Why Yonho grinned, revealing his true colors. He said I should stick with whichever side pays. He continued, my master always said, morality and virtue only give you an empty name. They don't feed you, so don't bother living righteously. The right way is to grab as much as you can when you can. The man looked flabbergasted. What kind of master says that? The man pressed his advantage. Exactly. What good are things like morality or virtue? My father values those who help him. So, will you work for my father? Why Yonho's eyes lit up. Work? Do I have to work? The man leaned in, sealing the deal. We won't make you do any work. Top-class meals and rest. Lifetime guarantee. Oh, a lifetime guarantee. Why Yonho's eyes widened. I've been stupid. If you don't want to work, you don't have to. You'll still receive the promised rewards? He asked. Really? You're truly generous. A real man. Haha, of course. Bullshit. Why Yonho's tone shifted immediately. So, what do I need to do? The man grinned, his teeth gleaming. First, kill everyone you see in front of you. What? They're rebels. Destroying them is only just payment. One of the prisoners yelled. That's what he says? What nonsense! Another prisoner retorted, well, why did you plot treason then? The first prisoner responded, we never plotted treason. He made it all up. And you actually believe him? But the petition was circulated. You cursed man. Still, killing them seems wrong. I've never killed anyone, you see. Heh, the man sneered. Then stand aside. I'll do it. Bring me my sword. He drew his sword, a glint in his eye. I may not want to soil my hands, but when carrying out the sacred law of the nation, there must not be a shred of hesitation. Just then, a voice cried out, stop this at once. You two learned loyalty and righteousness. How can a servant of the state commit such treachery? The man raised his sword higher. What I'm doing now, he brought the sword down, is loyalty. Suddenly, Mun Yunji screamed, Father! The man brought his sword down, ready to strike, but suddenly hesitated. Forgive me, Yunji. Just then, Wai Yonho intervened, stopping the blade with 2 fingers. That's far enough, don't you think? The man's eyes widened in disbelief. What strength does this brat have? Wai Yonho smirked, his eyes gleaming with mischief. Have you forgotten everything we just spoke of? Of course not, but I'll only play along this far. Wai Yonho casually stretched. Do you know what's essential for living a lazy life? Never creating trouble that nags at you. He recalled a past incident. Once, I broke an inkstone my father cherished, and of all times he was away. He didn't return for 3 days, and those 3 days waiting were torture for me. When he finally came home, he beat me within an inch of my life, but afterwards, I could rest easy. You might as well have died then. Hey, Hanlan Go champion, why are you suddenly spouting nonsense? Didn't master say this too? Never forget a grudge, but never forget kindness even more. A man who doesn't repay what he's received will someday have to pay back more than what he took. Why did it already fade away from me? Before the debt compounds 10 or 20 times over, repay it. And no matter how I see it, now is the time to repay that kindness. I see. So behind your grand words, you mean to stop me. Haha. Do you think I tried to bribe you because I feared you? Not really. It didn't seem that way. The man held up his hand, energy swirling around his fingers. Good. You see it clearly, then let me show you, if I so desire. It would be nothing for me to kill you. He unleashed a torrent of energy. Consider it an honor to die by my hand. Wai Yonho, however, seemed unfazed. So Nak Mokpung also trained in martial arts? The man's attack continued, undeterred by Wai Yonho's nonchalant attitude. The energy surged forward, ready to obliterate everything in its path. The man unleashed an attack of pure spiritual energy. The force of the energy was immense. Let me give you some advice. In your next life, cast aside that laziness and live diligently. Wai Yonho was hit by the blast. The crowd watched, stunned by the display of power. Wai Yonho's eyes narrowed in thought. Strange, I've seen this somewhere before. The man smirked, confident in his victory. Of course, I used my ultimate technique from the start. And yet anyway then, whap. Wait, no. The strike connected, sending shockwaves through the air. Just one hit, okay? The crowd watched in stunned silence, their faces a mixture of fear and disbelief. Wai Yonho's attack sent her soaring through the air, a testament to his overwhelming strength. Is he dead? Wai Yonho nonchalantly replied, no. I only hit lightly, and his body's thick with fat. He's fine, I think. Wai Yonho turned back to the others. Then, shall we continue where we left off? Wait. The man, clearly terrified, stammered, why don't we all pretend this never happened? Silence hung in the air as everyone processed the situation. That's unacceptable. Seize him at once. Please, Your Highness, have you ever seen the Inspector General let a traitor go free? If I don't return, my father will think the plan has failed, and then he'll make one last gamble. No matter how that turns out, the Imperial House will suffer irreparable damage. Baek Muhan scowled. You wicked man. Wai Yonho considered the implications. So if we let this one go, the Imperial House won't be bathed in blood? Even if I foresee it and try to stop it, considering Nok Ji's forces, it'll erupt into chaos. And knowing Nok Ji, he'll resort to even more vile means. Baek Muhan questioned him. Are you telling me to just watch traitors run rampant in the imperial court with my own eyes? That's politics, is it not? You think the inspectorate grabs a weakness of Dongchang to secure a temporary peace? Wai Yonho looked back at Baek Muhan. I've heard eunuchs are like rats, always leaving themselves 10 holes to escape through. Wai Yonho turned away, dismissing him. Begone. Night had fallen as the two stood facing off. The man spoke. Then allow me one word of advice? He continued, your martial art of flowing grace, is formidable, yes, but while you're also sustaining bone-shrinking art, its effectiveness inevitably drops. He finished his advice. If you truly wish to face me, it would be wiser to release that transformation. Transformation martial technique to alter one's outward form. Wai Yonho casually replied, I'll keep that in mind, for next time. The man responded, I'd rather there not be a next time. Wai Yonho countered, there will be. Wai Yonho finished, at least, while you wear that form. Well, whatever, so this is the end. Wai Yonho casually stretched, a wide grin on his face. He declared, I'm going to bed, so I'll leave the rest to you. The woman exploded with rage. You're sleeping again? I have full board and lodging rights. You wouldn't dare go back on your word, would you? Wai Yonho booked it. Don't wake me. I mean it. I'll be sleeping straight through until tomorrow. Don't wake me. Li Wangya watched Wai Yonho flee in disbelief. What kind of person even is that? His companion agreed. I know, right? Even after that day, Wai Yonho's days flowed by in comfort. This is the life. Li Wangya and Mun Yuan were busy cleaning up the aftermath of that day, but none of it had anything to do with Wai Yonho. Every meal, delicious food was brought straight to his room, and no one nagged him for sleeping. Truly, a paradise on earth. Wake up. Wai Yonho continued to enjoy his lazy paradise. Suddenly, a voice shattered his peaceful slumber. Don't pretend to sleep. You're not actually asleep. Wai Yonho groaned, protesting. What? My father is calling for you. What about my full day rest? I wasn't the one who called, so take it up with him yourself. Don't tell me after lazing in bed for 7 days you're going to refuse to go. Can I just say I'll see him later? Apparently not. Get up already. She yanked the covers off him, sending him tumbling to the floor. Ow! She dragged him to his feet and towards his father's room. My lord, I brought him. Come in. Wai Yonho shuffled into the room, still adjusting his clothes. His father dismissed the girl with a wave of his hand. Good work, you may leave. Wai Yonho and the girl bowed deeply before his father's door. Suddenly, his father interjected, Not you. The girl and Wai Yonho looked at each other in confusion. He's telling you to stay. No, it's you. Yes, you. Me? Wai Yonho's father stared intently. Wai Yonho rubbed his head, feigning a headache. My head. The man next to his father spoke up. Inspector General. Ha! Wai Yonho's father gripped a golden rod tightly. Wai Yonho's father, exasperated, declares, Inspector General. Fine, fine. He slams the golden rod onto the table. Enough already. Wai Yonho grins, already scheming about how to profit from this situation. His father demands, Do you know what that is? No. Then what possessed you to accept it without question? Wai Yonho, ever the pragmatist, replies, It looked expensive. He continues, My master told me, if it looks like money, grab it first, no questions asked. That sword. No takebacks. Don't be stingy. No, that sword. Wai Yonho pushes his luck. Surely a man of your standing, Lord Iwangya, wouldn't stoop so low as to take back what you've given. Iwangya retorts, That's not what I meant. Wai Yonho cuts him off. Too late. I already put my spit on it. It's mine now. Iwangya slams his hands on the table, furious. Just listen for a moment, you damned brat. You'll doom your school clan at this rate. That sword is the sacred relic of the inspectorate. Wherever you go, showing it will have people treat you as my equal. Wai Yonho stares at the sword, unimpressed. He asks why. Is there a problem? That's it. I mean, isn't there some practical benefit, like being able to buy food or a house? And Wai Yonho gives Iwangya a knowing look. Why are you, of all people, saying this? Look, I did my part that day. If you're saying this makes us even, that's not good enough. Give and take. That's how the world works. That's just the way of things. Wai Yonho gives an okay sign. These days, people want something more material, more realistic. Ha, this is awkward. I can't even say it outright. Iwangya's hands tremble slightly. So then, you want me to forget about the inspectorate relic and give you money instead? Wai Yonho smirks, ever the smooth talker. Well, not that I'd put it so bluntly. I do have some manners, you know. Iwangya, sword at the ready, was clearly not amused by Wai Yonho's antics. Wai Yonho spotted something familiar. Wait, is this mine too? It looks pricey. Ahem. That's my cherished inkstone. Iwangya's expression hardened. I'll say it again. That sword is the sacred relic of the inspectorate. Wherever you go, you'll be treated as if you hold the same office as me. In other words, it's like granting you a post equal to the Inspector General himself. Wai Yonho considered the offer. So basically, more work for me? Iwangya sputtered, exasperated. I said it's a government post. Isn't that the same thing? Wai Yonho retorted. It's not. How so? Iwangya sighed. Just accept that it's different. Wai Yonho shrugged. Fine, out of respect for my elders, I'll let it slide. From long ago, The inspectorate has sent secret inspectors into the Central Plains. The position has been vacant for some time. I'd like you to take it up. Yuanya, practically foaming at the mouth, offered a position. With just this? I didn't say govern. I didn't. It's a reward. I'll sell my own house to give you a reward if I must, you stubborn turtle. Why Yonho seemed relieved. Well, that's a relief. I thought this would get troublesome. Troublesome? Ah, no, nothing. Yuanya's face contorted, his eyes gleaming with suspicion. You were going to sell it off, weren't you? What clan are you from? And who is your master? Why Yonho simply replied, I can't say. Yuanya pressed, his face inches from Wai Yonho's. What, you won't answer because you don't trust me? The old man was practically vibrating with indignation. You know my rank, yet you still won't trust me, and you mean to hide your identity? Wai Yonho calmly states, this isn't about identity. Yuanya retorts, it's about how I can't trust someone who hides his martial arts and puts on an act that's obvious to anyone. He leans forward, his expression intense. How many seconds would it take you to subdue Nak Mokbun? 5 or 3? The room seems to shift, a chessboard of energy materializing around them. Yuanya declares, dancing on someone else's chessboard like this. The chessboard expands, the 3 figures mere pieces on its surface. Yuanya's face looms large, his eyes glowing with power. Wai Yonho turns away, his expression unreadable as the chessboard continues to blaze. Wai Yonho's face contorts with barely If you want the next part of this story, comment sword, and don't forget to subscribe.